This video and its content are in no way affiliated with or sponsored by Heinz Ketchup brand. Drink responsibly.
Since its release in 1876, Heinz Ketchup has become a staple in American households. A reported 308 million Americans used ketchup in 2020. That's a whopping 93% of the country, and Heinz is the best-selling ketchup. With its presence at nearly every cookout in the country, it's important to know exactly what it is that we're dipping our fries in. It's time for Heinz Ketchup to show me what you're made of. First up on the ingredients list is tomato concentrate, followed by distilled vinegar. This is a great start so far. But third on the list is high fructose corn syrup, which is a known offender in the health industry. High fructose corn syrup is a processed sweetener created from corn. It can lead to weight gain, heart disease, diabetes, and more. In a 2012 study published in the journal Global Health, researchers determined that countries with heavy use of high fructose corn syrup experienced a 20% increase in frequency of diabetes when compared to countries with lower usage of the syrup. Sugars and syrups have extreme effects on the body, which could be as bad as the way your body processes alcohol. Coupled with corn syrup, the next ingredient on the list, you end up with a ketchup that is a shocking 24% sugar by weight. And if you follow something along the lines of a standard American diet, you've likely been consuming sugars and syrups in excess since childhood, so the consequences on your health can be frightening. Because it's more processed and broken down, high fructose corn syrup is absorbed into the bloodstream more quickly than regular sugar. Consumers need to be aware of added sugar consumption, but especially of highly processed sugars. When you consume sugars, you want to find products that contain fiber, which can slow down the body's absorption of sugar. If there's not enough fiber to slow down absorption, the body will experience a spike in blood sugar, which can lead to insulin resistance, a precursor to conditions like diabetes and PCOS. Heinz Ketchup has a whopping 0 grams of fiber, so it doesn't look like there will be much protection from that sugar spike. After sugar is a classic, salt. Salt provides sodium, a necessary element for human life. But the average American diet consists of 47% more sodium than the FDA recommended daily maximum. Too much salt can lead to high blood pressure, heart disease, and stroke, along with leaching calcium from the bones. It might surprise you to know that the recommended daily amount of 2,300 milligrams is just 1 teaspoon per day. Next up on the list is the rather ambiguous term, spice. There doesn't seem to be anything too crazy to say on this one, but if you want to delve deeper, here's the FDA's definition of spice. After that is onion powder, which surprised me at first because I would expect it to fall under spices or natural flavorings. But after reading FDA Code 21, it seems that onions are seen as a food item rather than a spice, so they can't be lumped in under that category. Lastly, a rather cryptic term makes its way onto the label. That's right, we're talking about those elusive natural flavorings. While we can't be sure exactly what goes into natural flavorings in Heinz Ketchup, and that's kind of the point, isn't it? We do know that there have been concerns about the term for quite a while. Natural flavorings are defined in the FDA CFR 21 as essentially something derived from natural origins whose main value is flavor rather than nutrition. But this leaves a bit of a loophole for companies. Food processors have to list ingredients, but flavors are a bit more hidden. Flavor manufacturers are not required to disclose their ingredients, so long as they describe whether the flavors are of natural or artificial origin. According to the New York Times, flavor manufacturers can add synthetic solvents, preservatives, emulsifiers, carriers, and other additives to a flavor that qualifies as natural under current regulations. In fact, it's been determined that 80 to 90% of the ingredients that make up natural flavors contain chemical solvents and preservatives. The article does explain that organic products are more regulated in that sense, but this doesn't apply to our cheeseburger companion Heinz. Basically, when it comes to flavorings, the only difference between natural and artificial flavorings is where you started. And when you hear that McDonald's natural beef flavor finds its origins in wheat and milk, you might start to question just how drastic those changes are. In fact, some natural flavorings end up the same as artificial flavorings on a molecular level. Just because something starts out natural doesn't mean that extensive lab manipulation won't end up making it effectively artificial. The definitions describe the origins of these flavors, but nothing about what is done after that, which means a plethora of unknown chemicals and preservatives might be making their way into your foods under this sneaky term. In short, the problem with Heinz Ketchup arises in the strong dose of high fructose corn syrup and sodium that you'll be getting with each squirt. This is definitely a condiment you should be careful of using in large quantities. The listed serving size is 1 tablespoon, which might not be as much as you would expect. Next time you pick up the ketchup bottle, try to limit the amount you use. Overall, Heinz Ketchup is not laced with a million additives and honestly has a rather short ingredients list. Unfortunately, some of these ingredients could pose serious dangers to your health over time. If you're looking for a ketchup with no added sugar, less sodium, and less sugar overall, think about giving True Made Foods Veggie Ketchup a try. I haven't tasted it yet, but the ingredients look stellar and the ketchup is naturally sweetened using fruits and vegetables. True Made Foods Veggie Ketchup is made with tomato puree, apple, vegetable puree consisting of carrots, butternut squash, and spinach, along with vinegar, salt, onion powder, and allspice. It's a bit pricey compared to Heinz, clocking in at $7 a bottle, but does look to be a healthier alternative. If cost is an issue, you could try making your own ketchup at home. I've linked a few recipes in the description box for you to try. That's all for today. See you next time on Show Me What You're Made Of.
Consisting of carrots, butternut squash, and spinach, along with vinegar, salt, onion powder, and allspice. That's all the spices. Bit of a bang for your buck there. I could think of like 35 spices. That's like what, probably $3, 3 cents per spice? For like probably 4,500 spices. Wasn't there a whole like war over spices? Imagine they just know about allspice.
That's all for today on... Wait, that's all for... Yeah, okay. That's all for today. See you next time on Show Me What You're Made Of.
Wait, there was literally an international war for adobo, for seasonings.